Hello, I just had my 10x mentorship with Brandon Dawson. I'm Ria, and here are my 14 lessons learned on today's topic. $250,000 per employee is 15 to 18% profit. Lesson 1. Whatever I would start, I would want to know I can do between $250,000 and $500,000 of revenue by myself. Lesson 2. Because saying that I start something and I'm doing $300,000 in revenue by myself, when I go to build and I add 2 new employees, the rule of 3, I'm not going to allow that revenue per employee to drop. Lesson 3. So now, if I can do $300,000 by myself in the start, I should be more efficient with 2 additional people helping me. So I'm going to set a new target called $330,000 revenue per employee, which means that the 2 new additional people, my new target is $1 million a year in revenue. Lesson 4. Now, I want to prove that, which is optimizing. So now, say I go to 5 employees and we're doing $350,000 revenue per head. So now I'm going to see how far with those 5 employees I can go before I start adding a bunch of other employees, because otherwise I'm going down in value the bigger I get. Lesson 5. So if I'm doing $250,000 revenue per head and I have 10 employees, that's 2.5 million business. If all of a sudden I go and I add another 10 employees, I have 20 employees, and my revenue per head drops to $150,000, I'm not doing $3 million of revenue or twice as many employees as I was doing from a profitability standpoint with half as many. Lesson 6. Brandon says, I'd rather have half as many and be more profitable than twice as many and be less profitable. Lesson 7. So the tension is when you're building a business is when you set those targets. You fight to keep those targets. Lesson 8. When you start, you don't go, I'm going to sacrifice my targets for growth. Lesson 9. You should increase your value for growth. You should become more efficient, more effective with the more people you have. Not less effective, not less efficient. Lesson 10. Brandon says we studied 3,800 industries, and what we found is that in any of the industries, anybody doing less than $95,000 of revenue per head was basically breaking even or losing or barely making. Lesson 11. At 85,000, they're losing money. Lesson 12. At 500,000 of revenue per head, they're making about 40% profit. Lesson 13. So we set a mid-target at 250,000 of revenue per head on average. Those businesses were making about 15 to 18% profit. Lesson 14. So Brandon says, I used 250,000 based on all the research he did as a target. You're not going to find those numbers in too many places because it takes research, and they broke it down to 3,800 industries. So to Brandon, there's no point in building a business if you cannot generate at least 15 to 20% of profit. So that's why I use $250,000 as a target. So those are my lessons learned. I hope you learned something. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and you can also download a free section of my book, Apartment Prescription, How I Made from 0 to 50 apartment units in 7 years, partnering with a bank. I know if I can do it, so can you. Take care and God bless.